Is your room kind of boring? Or maybe you don't have a budget for those fancy Pinterest-worthy setups. Don't worry, bestie. We're about to fix that together. I've got 10 aesthetic room decor ideas that are easy, fun, and will make your space feel like your vibe. Think Pinterest-level cute, but totally doable. So grab a snack, get comfy, let's glow up your room. Oh, and stick around to the end, because the last idea is chef's kiss, and honestly my favorite. Let's start with a super easy one. Materials needed: toilet paper, aluminum foil, toothpicks and a cork mat, or piece of cardboard, liquid glue mixed with a little water, black marker, fairy lights. How to make it? If you want the coziest, cutest room lighting, you have to try this. First, roll up some aluminum foil into tiny little balls. Push a toothpick into each ball and stick them into a cork mat or a piece of cardboard so they stand up. Next, mix some liquid glue with a little water in a bowl. Dip a square of toilet paper into the glue mix and gently drape it over the foil balls to create that little ghost shape. Once they are completely dry, pull them off the toothpicks, draw some cute tiny eyes with a black marker, and slip them right over a strand of fairy lights. It is literally that easy and looks so magical at night. Materials needed: paper or cardstock, colored pencils or markers, clear fishing line or thread, tape, clear tape or wall-safe painter's tape, scissors. How to make it? This is how you get that perfect magical room aesthetic. First, find some cute butterfly designs online to use as inspiration. Draw out your butterfly shapes on a piece of paper and then color them in with your favorite shades. Cut them out carefully and then fold the wings upward just a little bit so they look like they are actually flying. Next, cut pieces of clear fishing line or thread in different lengths and tape one end to the back of each butterfly. Now just tape the other end of the strings to your ceiling. Because the string is clear, it looks exactly like a little flock of colorful butterflies is floating right in the corner of your room. Materials needed: a small glass jar, white tissue paper or napkins, liquid school glue, a pencil or the end of a paintbrush, a battery-operated LED tea light, scissors. How to make it? This looks like a fluffy little cloud lamp and gives the prettiest glow. First, take your tissue paper and cut it into small squares, roughly 2 by 2 inches. They don't have to be perfectly even. Next, squeeze a good amount of liquid glue all around the bottom section of your glass jar. Take one tissue paper square, place the flat bottom end of a pencil right in the middle of it, and fold the corners of the paper up around the pencil, so it hugs the side. Press the pencil tip with the paper directly onto the glued part of the jar, hold it for a second, and pull the pencil out. The paper stays stuck, forming a cute little ruffle. Repeat this process, working your way up the jar row by row until the entire outside is completely covered in fluffy ruffles. Once the glue dries, pop a battery-powered LED tea light inside, and you're all set. It turns into the softest, coziest little light for your desk. Materials needed: lots of pink pipe cleaners, a pencil, iridescent ribbon or fabric strips, a strand of LED fairy lights, a hot glue gun. Optional: a purple marker or chalk for shading. How to make it? This velvet jellyfish light is so unique and honestly looks like something from an aesthetic boutique. To start, take a bunch of pink pipe cleaners and lay them down side by side. Take another pipe cleaner and weave it horizontally across the top, folding the tips over each piece to loop them together like a fence. Once you have a long row, curve the ends together into a circle, twist them tight, and bunch the top ends together with hot glue to form a hollow dome shape. For the wavy tentacles, grab a few more pipe cleaners and wrap them tightly around a pencil to make them super curly. Glue those, along with some pretty iridescent ribbon strips, straight into the inside of your dome. Finally, tuck your battery-powered fairy lights inside so they illuminate the tentacles. For an extra touch, you can use a purple marker or chalk to shade the bottom rim to give it a cool gradient effect. Hang it up, turn it on, and watch it glow. Materials needed: pink paper, or your theme color, a thin stick, like a wooden skewer or chopstick, cardboard cut into a large heart frame, masking tape and liquid glue, pink acrylic paint, scissors, cute decor, ribbons, fake flowers, fairy lights, tiny plushies. How to make it? This heart-shaped wall grid is the ultimate coquette room upgrade. First, take your pink paper and cut it into thick strips. Use a thin stick to roll each strip diagonally into a tight paper straw. Sealing the edge with glue. Make a bunch of these. Next, cut out a large heart outline from a piece of cardboard. Cover the cardboard frame entirely with masking tape to make it smooth, and paint it pink to match your straws. Once dry, flip the heart over and use hot glue to attach your paper straws across the back to build the grid pattern. Space them evenly. Weave them over and under each other, and snip off any extra paper hanging past the edges. Now for the best part, decorating. Turn it over and add pretty pink ribbons, clip on cute little flowers, tuck in a tiny teddy bear, and wrap a strand of fairy lights all around it. It's the prettiest backdrop for your desk or vanity. Materials needed: a balloon, white textured paper napkins or paper towels, liquid school glue and water, paintbrush, scissors, popsicle sticks and hot glue gun, fairy lights or a puck light. How to make it. This moon lamp is the ultimate way to get that dreamy, cozy bedroom glow. First, blow up a balloon until it's nice and round, then tie it off. In a small cup, mix some liquid glue with a little bit of water until it's smooth. Tear your paper napkins into medium-sized sheets. Place a piece of paper onto the balloon, brush your glue mixture right over it, and smooth it down. Keep overlapping the sheets until the entire balloon is covered in about 3 to 4 layers, but leave a small open spot right around the balloon knot. Let it dry completely until it's hard like a shell. Use scissors to snip the knot of the balloon, let the air out, and carefully peel the empty balloon out of the hole. Clean up the edges of the opening with your scissors so it's neat. For the stand, hot glue 4 popsicle sticks together into a square frame. Make a second square frame, and stack them at an angle to create a cool geometric wooden base. Finally, tuck your fairy lights inside the moon shell, place it over the stand, and turn it on. It literally looks like a glowing miniature moon right on your desk. Materials needed: a clear incandescent light bulb. Make sure it's clean and free of dust. Acrylic paint, pink, white, yellow, and black. Thin paint brushes. Black fine tip permanent marker or paint pen. How to make it. This painted light bulb craft is such a cute, whimsical way to recycle old bulbs into room decor. First, grab a clean, clear light bulb. Using a thin paintbrush and some light pink acrylic paint, carefully paint a few butterfly shapes directly onto the glass. You can also mix it up by adding a few tiny 5-petal white flowers in the empty spaces around the butterflies. Once your base shapes are completely dry, use a black fine tip marker or a thin brush with black paint to add the details. Outline the butterfly wings, draw the body and antennae in the middle, and add small black lines or dots to make the wing patterns pop. You can even paint a second bulb with a bright yellow sunflower theme to make a matching set. Place them on a sunny windowsill or your desk for a gorgeous, transparent art piece. Materials needed: a box of cotton swabs, Q-tips, a hot glue gun, scissors, clear tape or string for hanging. How to make it. Want a winter wonderland vibe without the mess? Try this super easy cotton swab snowflake tutorial. First, grab 6 full-size cotton swabs and arrange them in a starburst pattern, meeting at a single center point. Secure them tightly with a generous dab of hot glue right in the middle. Next, take a handful of other swabs and cut the tips off, leaving just a tiny bit of the plastic stick attached. Put a small dot of glue on the plastic end of these mini tips and attach them to the arms of your main starburst. Placing 2 on each spoke to create a classic branch snowflake shape. Once the glue sets, you can tape them directly to your window glass or hang them from your curtain rod with a bit of clear thread. They catch the light beautifully at night. Materials needed: an empty cardboard box, like a small product box, nylon thread or clear string, assorted beads or crystals, polyester fiber fill, Decor/pillow stuffing, a strand of LED fairy lights, glue gun and scissors. How to make it. This upcycled rainy cloud light is the perfect piece of cozy room decor, and it's super easy to make using things you already have at home. First, take an empty cardboard box and cut it right down the middle to make a hollow, lightweight frame. Carefully poke a small hole in the top to attach a loop of nylon thread so you can hang your cloud up when it's finished. Next, let's create the rainfall. Cut 5 strands of clear thread and begin stringing on your beads or crystal charms. Space them out along each string, tying tiny knots underneath each bead to keep them locked into place. Once your strands are ready, hot glue them securely inside the open bottom of your box frame so they hang down evenly. Before we build the cloud, tuck a battery-powered strand of fairy lights into the box to give it a beautiful internal glow. Finally, Grab your polyester fiber fill and begin hot gluing big fluffy clumps all over the outside of the cardboard. Keep layering it on until the box is completely hidden and looks like a realistic pillowy cloud. Hang it up, switch the lights on, and enjoy your cozy indoor thunderstorm. Materials needed: 2 large sheets of sturdy heavyweight paper or butcher paper, markers, crayons, or paint, scissors, hole puncher, ribbon or thick cord, hot glue gun. How to make it: if you have a large blank wall that needs some personality, this giant statement fan is an amazing budget-friendly project. First, take your 2 large sheets of paper and draw or paint your favorite design across them. Think whimsical birds, waves, or abstract shapes. Once dry, create an accordion-style fold across the first sheet, making sure each crease is even and crisp. Repeat this exact folding process on the second sheet. Next, stack the folded sheets on top of each other, and use a hole puncher to pop a clean hole straight through all the layers near the bottom edge. Take a long piece of ribbon or cord, lace it through the hole, and tie it off into a tight bow. This creates the base pivot point for your fan. To bring it all together, add a neat line of hot glue along the interior edge where the 2 paper sheets meet, pressing them firmly together so they become one giant fan. Finally, flip it over and glue an extra loop of ribbon to the back so you can easily hang it up like a piece of fine art.